Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to The It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
Biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation and Dynamic Duo is back in the house. Today is Thursday, March 23rd, and the madness returns.
The madness returns, Dream. We're getting ready for March Madness Sweet 16 action. By the end of the weekend, we will have what's known as our Final Four, Dream. Pretty excited about it. I mean, when you look at the brackets here, the way I'm looking at this shakeout, I can't see Kansas losing.
Yeah, no, I can.
I know you can.
In fact, I see them losing tonight.
Oh, stop. Get out of here. I can't wait till they murder Purdue.
I see them losing tonight.
Oh, stop it. Wow.
We're going to get into that a little bit later. Let's first start off by getting into our tournament and getting the top 5 guys and ask them if they could please drop.
Well, you know what? Everybody's going to be dropping, Dream, considering the fact that most of them have the losing teams winning their championship. Like you have, let's see, Benny B, ESPN, and there's some crazy number after it. Chris Rivera, Bud Chetta, JP all had losing teams.
No, Bud Chetta real quiet since this went down. But where you at?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's funny how he came out the gate swinging, and it's the tortoise in the hare type of thing, man. Where you're not going to win the tournament. Hey, you know what, Dream? The only chance they have, to be honest with you, is like Xavier winning.
Or
because
West Virginia.
Or Press
By
Virginia.
the way, Vegas Girl 92661 has West Virginia winning the whole thing. Very interesting pick.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at it here. Yeah, she's got Press Virginia. Interesting. Well, your boy Carter and Huggy Hugs. We'll see how that all shakes out. But I'm looking at a couple of other ones here. I have Kansas. You have North Carolina. A lot of UCLA's here. A lot of UCLA's. Some Gonzagas. One Florida, I see. Interesting. Well, hey, you know what? We'll see. We'll see it all materializes moving forward here, Dream. Good morning to everybody. We are the SBTV Nation, live on Twitter, having a good time and getting ready for the madness. And, Dream, I actually took the liberty of taking the New York Knickerbockers plus the points last night, plus 12.
Okay.
And I ended up winning that. Double digits, baby.
All right.
Double-digit underdogs. We talked about it time and time again, guys. There's no reason for teams to cover that many points. They win the game, and that's it. And the Knicks actually fought pretty hard in that game, Dream, believe it or not, and ended up losing at the end.
What was the spread?
It was 12 and a half.
Okay.
It was either 12 or 12 and a half. I got to go look in the book, but it was never in question for me, to be honest with you.
All right. And they were playing the Jazz. I mean, I would expect they could hang with the Jazz and not get blown out.
You know what? The Jazz are a solid, really, really good defensive team. And you know what? They left the New York Knickerbockers for some wide open buckets from the perimeter. And I was surprised at that. And I don't know if you've watched the Jazz play in Utah, Dream, but it's somewhat electric out there.
Okay.
They're really behind this team this year. And you know what?
I wouldn't be surprised with that. I mean, I know they've had great support in the past, back when Karl Malone was there, obviously. They had, some serious support then, so it's good to hear that venue is electric.
Absolutely, yeah. And, back in 97, they made the finals. Remember with the mailman? Karl Malone and John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek. And Jeff Hornacek returns to that building last night only to get beat at the end. But the Knicks fought hard, and we're neck and neck with them until the fourth quarter, and then the Jazz just pulled away. They just ran out of gas. And you know what? When you look at the Knickerbockers, I mean, they do have talent, Dream. It's they just can't put it together. And you know what?
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
D. Rose will never win a championship.
Well, I'm sure not with the Knicks. He's not. I'm sure. I don't think he's ever going to win a championship in general. I kind of want to say that with you, but you can never say never. The issue with the Knicks, you know, I've always had it. First and foremost with the Knicks, I've always felt it was a discipline issue there. Yeah. I always felt like they just didn't have enough discipline. I felt like they didn't do enough fundamentals. And when you're missing discipline, then fundamentals generally lack. That kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah. I've always felt that the offensive philosophy that the Knicks have accepted didn't necessarily work for the team. There has been some talk about the triangle offense and the Knicks. Shaq made some comments I saw on the news, I think yesterday or the day before, and a couple other people have made some comments. I don't really know that offense works for the Knicks.
I don't know.
But you know, to pick it up and try to fix it now at this point in the game, it's obviously late in the season, so it's not going to work. Then you got, you know, Carmelo's, you know, he's getting to the end of his career. The Knicks are just in a bad spot right now. It is a bad spot. The Knicks are.
I mean, you would think that this team could be at least a 500 team with the talent they have. You know, because
I think, to be honest with you, I think Porzingis took a step back.
He was pretty good last night, though. I mean, he was draining threes like they were nothing. He had 24 points last night, 7 rebounds. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Last year, what was happening was that I don't think he got enough touches. He's getting more touches these days. He's just not making shots on a consistent basis. That's pretty much what's going on.
The Knicks are just so dysfunctional. You know, I didn't like the bringing in the Phil Jackson move. I didn't like that. I didn't feel he was the right fit for the Knicks. Their upper management ownership, to me, I don't know. It's reminiscent or a little bit similar to kind of Al Davis back in the Raiders era. I don't have an answer for the Knicks.
Got it. Well, you know what? Let's keep moving. And speaking of the East, the Celtics beat the Pacers. Dream. Celtics are doing their thing, especially at home. 25-9.
Celtics are finding a really nice groove right now. Isaiah Thomas is coming into his own, and without looking, in case you're not paying attention, the Celtics are 1 game away from tying with the Cleveland Cavaliers for the East, and possibly going ahead. I will not be surprised at all if the Celtics, because the Cavs, dude.
Yes. I think they need like a week break.
A week break? Well, they basically had one, just not all together.
Yeah, right. I think they need like a week off. I think if they had a week off and they just kind of got their heads together, I think they'd be just fine. So, you know what? Well, here's the deal. Here's what happened with the Cavs, and here's what'll happen. They'll, you know, skate through, maybe win 60, 70% of their games, possibly get a 1 seed, if not a 2 seed. But then they'll have that 8 seed the 8 or 7 seed they'll play in the playoffs, and they'll sweep them. And then they'll get that break that they need. And they'll be just fine. And you'll see them in the finals yet again. Dream.
You know, I want to somewhat agree with you, but there's something about the losing this season with them that in past we've seen them be able to turn it on and turn it off. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it turned on this. I don't know. I think you flirt with danger playing right now the way they're playing in the group that they're in. I don't know what they need to do, but I'm just very slightly concerned about the way they've been losing.
Well, here's the deal. When you're the defending champions, you are going to get every single team's A game, regardless of who it is. You could be playing the Milwaukee Bucks, the Kings. You could be playing the Wizards. You could be playing the Nuggles last night. You're going to get max effort out of whoever's playing you, especially if it's in their building. And the Nuggles, Dream, 126 points last night.
I know.
So, hey, I love these spots. I think these spots are fantastic because it just enables us to find better spots when, you know, the Cleveland Cavs lose a few games. Then we pound them. And they want to go and they'll shoot, 25 threes in a game. So it works out perfect for me. I love it.
I know you love it, but I'm just saying from a Cleveland Cavs standpoint,
Oh, yeah.
to figure them out for defending their championship and coming out of the East is bothersome to me. Elsewhere in the NBA, we talk about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook last night, again, outstanding performance by him. And it's looking like he's almost on pace, or he is on pace to match or beat Oscar Robertson's record for triple-doubles.
Okay.
You know, my thing with Russell Westbrook, guys, though, is, and don't get me wrong, he's dope. I think he's a good player, very good player. The problem is with these guys breaking the old guys' records is, one, I just don't feel that the NBA is competitive as it used to be. And that's my opinion. You can have your own opinion, but I'm just telling you my opinion. One, I don't think the NBA is competitive as it used to be. Two, you used to have teams with 5 stars. So when you had a star on a team, like when you had like Magic Johnson being a star in the Lakers, that's like a star, okay? Because there was 5 other, maybe 6 dope guys on that team too, you know, that were incredible. Yep. You know, you look around teams, the greats, the legends, and who they're going to compare Russell Westbrook to. And I'm not taking anything away. I'm not saying that he's not a great player. I'm just saying that you talk about guys that flourished when they had like 5 other guys that were really good on your team. When Russell Westbrook is your only option, you have to expect that his numbers are going to be a tad bit skewed just for that reason alone.
Yeah, but you know what though? Because obviously you're not, you know, you're taking everything on your back, but
yeah, no doubt. So that's why the things I take with Russell Westbrook, you know, I'm going to take them with a grain of salt. I'm not going to go. Like I said, great athlete, great basketball player. I'm not giving him to Kobe Bryant. I'm not giving him to Michael Jordan, because those guys played with other great guys and were still great. You know, and the flip side to that is, with Kevin Durant leaving, is that telling me that Russell Westbrook's personality doesn't bode well with another superstar?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think KD just left because he went for the easiest way out, Dream. Personally.
Okay. But my thing is, I just wonder in the back of my mind if maybe Russell Westbrook is not, you know, is not a team. It's just not a team player, and you know, Kevin Durant didn't feel like being involved with that anymore, and he didn't feel like, you know, the back and forth. Hey, I need to get the ball. I don't want you to have the ball, or whatever that dynamic that goes with that. But I'm just wondering if Westbrook is not the type of player, because they, by the way, haven't brought in anybody to play with him.
No, not yet. But you could see the OKC Thunder being in the playoffs, but getting the early exit, Dream.
Getting an early exit, yeah.
Especially with that kind of game plan going on.
That's what I do with Russell Westbrook, and I'm not knocking him. Kind of the same thing for Harden too, a little bit, but I just don't know that how great I want to make him when he's playing on a team that he's the only option in getting, you know, all the looks. And with that, we can move on from basketball.
Absolutely. So, Dream, Team USA laid the smackdown yesterday.
We were supposed to open with that. Team USA won the World Baseball Classic. They went 8-0 and beat Puerto Rico. Kinsler wants it to be celebrated. I'm not really sure why. Last time I checked, Team USA had professional baseball players on it. No?
Well, everybody's got professional baseball players.
Say that again?
We got to talk to the evil genius about that before we can, go through that. You know what I mean?
The other teams had a splash of professionals, but they didn't have a whole team like the Team USA.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
So then I don't see what the big deal is about TM. You're supposed to win. It's like the dream team not winning.
Right.
I mean, come on, really? I mean, I'm just saying it is.
I get it.
You feel me?
I know. I understand what you're saying. I completely get it.
As far as I'm concerned, Team USA should go out there and win. Like, they only won 8-0. It should have been like 30-9 or something. I don't know.
Right on. Well, Jay, moving on. You know what? I just want to go into collegiate basketball real quick. The postseason NI Tizzle going on right now. And you got the semifinals is Georgia Tech versus Cal Baker. And you got UCF versus TCU Ski. I told you Georgia Tech was good.
Okay.
Yeah, they're I mean, look at all the teams that.
All right.
Look at all the teams that have failed. Iowa's gone. Oakland's gone. Houston's gone. Georgia's gone. Indiana's gone. Monmouth's gone. Syracuse is gone. Consolation prize, the N.I. Tizzle. Georgia Tech to be victorious here, Dream.
I can't believe you broke out the World Baseball League talk for the N.I. Tizzle.
The N.I. Tizzle, man. The not in tournament.
Let's not leave out the C.I. Tizzle.
Yeah, right.
Can't get in tournament.
Can't get in the tournament. Exactly.
So listen, really quick, little bit of NFL topics that I've listened to. Okay, if you heard this story, why did the FBI have to find Tom Brady's jersey?
They find it?
Yeah, they found it.
Really? Who had it? Who had it?
I don't know. Maybe Trump did, but I'm just saying.
I'm interested to know who had it.
But why? No, I'm interested in why they're looking for Brady's. Like, okay, so you don't got nothing to do. You're the FBI. You don't have anything to do, so you're gonna look for Brady's jersey.
Yeah, well, you know what, Dream? I mean,
No.
I understand where you're going with it.
You do?
They should spend more time trying to find out how and why your boy tapped Trump's phones.
They did, and they said there's absolutely no evidence. The director of the FBI came out and said that there's no evidence, and they don't know what he's talking about.
Until yesterday.
Sorry?
Yeah, until yesterday.
Get out of here. Until yesterday. No information came out yesterday.
It all came out, Dream. Google the man called Nunes.
It did not come out yesterday.
He was under surveillance.
What did come out yesterday is quite a few of Donald Trump's campaign guys have some Russian connections. That also came out yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to leave that alone. But anyway, I want to know why the FBI is looking for Tom Brady's jersey. In my house, if you can't find your clothes, you have to wear something else, and that's just it. Dad's not looking for it. So you might want to let Uncle Tom know, or Tom Terrific, whatever you want to call him. Look, from now on, keep track of your own jersey. FBI is not going to be quarantined to look for it. Killer Cam Newton, rotator cuff surgery. Marshawn Lynch is supposedly looking to get back into the NFL. This Marshawn Lynch deal, I talked about this a little bit last year.
Yes.
I felt that Marshawn Lynch had more football left in him, but I felt that what was going on in Seattle was not very advantageous for him and kind of was ticking him off a bit.
Well,
I think Marshawn Lynch plays next year.
And you know what, Dream? He was very vocal on his Twitter page about the play where he didn't get the ball in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He was very vocal on that.
That, I believe, was the start of it. Then remember him and his mom got into it with the offensive coordinator behind the scenes, not to mention the injury. I feel that Marshawn Lynch is going to play this season. I think he's going to come back and play. I will not be surprised at all with him coming back to play. And I'll tell you one other thing. Now that Marshawn Lynch is talking about coming back to play, I'll tell you what, something else. We haven't talked about this much. I'm not so sure that Calvin Johnson is completely done with the NFL.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Exactly. You know what? I think if somebody can put the tandem together and have Marshawn Lynch play with Tony Romo, I think that'd be a really good pickup.
Oof.
Put those two together. You know I'm not a Romo fan.
Marshawn Lynch is talking about he wants to go to the Raiders.
That'd be a great. Oh my God, with Derek Carr, oof, that'd be dope. Because I think Marshawn Lynch was one of the best running backs. He was fantastic.
I love Marshawn Lynch as a running back, downhill running back, great running back. I definitely think that he could find I'll tell you where Marshawn Lynch would be ridiculous. Like you just said, tandem with Tony Romo. Add Marshawn Lynch and Romo to the Denver Broncos. Go get me my Super Bowl jersey.
Oh, I think it would be a very dangerous team. I don't know about a Super Bowl jersey though, Dream. You still got the New England Patriots in the AFC.
That's true.
Who are continuing to beef up their roster.
Tell you what, that Marshawn Lynch, Tony Romo to the Denver Broncos would be ridiculous.
Oh, it'd be great. It makes him a contender. I agree. And you know I'm not a Romo fan, but I do agree that makes him a contender. But watch the Patriots grab him. Trying to be the Golden State Warriors of the NFL.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. So,
Yes.
that being said, we got some games tonight. We got some March Madness going on.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just want to talk for a second. I know I haven't talked a lot. We haven't done a lot of hockey, gang. I wanted to get some guests on more for the hockey situation to get into that more than just myself. I like hockey. I get into hockey. I'm not really in depth with everything that's going on in hockey like some have. But the one thing I do want to talk about is we haven't talked a lot about the Washington Capitals this season. And the Capitals have been very quietly playing good hockey. I know last year we talked about them a lot, kind of imploded and things fell apart at the end of the season. Maybe that's why they're not getting a whole lot of talk about this season. But the Capitals are getting it done, and they're doing a decent job. I don't know if this season, hopefully the playoffs will be a little bit different for them. Only problem, the Pittsburgh Penguins will be there again.
I'm sure.
Pittsburgh Penguins will be there again. Also, hockey guys, I don't know if you have been paying attention, but there's been kind of a changing of the goalies as far as the top goalies are concerned in hockey. We haven't talked about that a lot this season, but your Ben Bishops, Pecorani, they haven't been what they've been in the past. This season, we've seen a different a change in the guard somewhat in goalies as far as they're concerned. The Columbus Blue Jackets guys, give me a break with the name. I'm going to get killed later with the name, but Bobrovsky has been great in goal for the Columbus Blue Jays. Holtby's always been there, and we do know about Holtby for the Washington Capitals because we've seen them a little bit last year. But just not your usual goalie guys have been, coming to fruition and, panning out this season in hockey. So I think we got to keep that in our minds moving forward as we're getting ready to get ready in the hockey playoffs. One thing about the San Jose Sharks, and I have, ran with the San Jose Sharks season for most of the season, their goalie play has not been good.
Got it.
Goalie play has not been good with the Sharks at all, which if you're going to look at any area, if you don't have a good goalie, needless to say, you're going to struggle as far as winning. And that's been that's an issue for San Jose Sharks that definitely is coming to the forefront right now at this point in the season.
Got it, Dream. Well, all right. Hey, good luck with your hockey, brother. Good luck, because I'm struggling to. There's just so much else going on with the NBA and the NCAA. It's hard for me to do it all. You know what I'm saying? But
yep.
I listen to what you got going on, and I do like those plus 1.5 props. With the puck lines and stuff like that, because I constantly see 1-goal games.
And my man Terrence Mack has been getting all over that. He's been involved in that a lot lately as far as the 1-goal games. I don't mess with that puck line too much. I get it and I understand it. I don't mess with the puck line too much. I'm just kind of old-fashioned in that respect with hockey, but it definitely does work out in certain situations.
Right on, Dream. Exactly. So, what do you want to do? You want to get into tonight's action?
Well, we can get into. Let's preview the college games you got tonight, guys. It kicks off at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time this evening, and you have 4 games on tonight.
4 games on tonight. So let's see how the spacing ends up being tonight, because we know on Sunday it was absolutely dreadful the way they had it done. Unless you had 3 TVs minimum, you were missing games, period. So they should have spaced it out a little bit better. They should have had it all day. So what you're going to end up having, Dream, is you're going to probably be able to start one, then a half hour later another one starts, but then you could probably close those 2 out before the 9:39 game with Kansas, Purdue, and the 10 o'clock being Xavier in Arizona. But let's start it right off, guys. We got number 7, Michigan, who is 26-11, who is a 1.5-point favorite versus number 3, Oregon. Under over 148, Oregon is 31-5 on the year. Dream, why is Michigan a favorite?
Okay, first of all, the games are going to be spaced out better simply because 2 networks are handling it.
Yep.
And they're both going to be played on the same court. You're dealing with the Midwest region. Both games are out the Midwest region tonight. So obviously you're going to see one finish before the other one starts. And they're both on CBS. And then the other ones 2 are on TBS. And it's the Western region. So one team will leave when the other team gets on. So we shouldn't have the overlap issue as far as viewing is concerned. Now back to your original question. Michigan's been hot, man. A lot of momentum coming into this game. And I think that Michigan's conference, for some reason, is getting a little bit more props than the Pac, even though I don't agree with it.
Well, I can tell you this much. First of all, just as far as superstitions are concerned, I've got the thing called the curse of the conference champions happening. And
Okay.
I think Michigan goes down tonight personally. I think Oregon got their scare versus Rhode Island.
Okay.
If you look at the smart chart here, Oregon is superior in most categories here. Offensively, defensively, point differential, offense and defensive rebounding, and also steals. The only thing is Michigan, I mean, if Oregon gets in foul trouble and you got that bonus kind of early,
Just going to say that.
Michigan does very well from the free throw line. They don't miss a lot. They actually are almost 78% from the free throw line, which is pretty decent for college basketball. The thing is, Oregon has to play disciplined. I think this will be a higher scoring game than most people think. Although the defenses are really good, I see Oregon winning the game, Dream.
Well, I got Oregon winning the game, too. I think they win the game. I agree with you as far as they played their last game. They got a scare from URI. And let's give URI some credit as well as they are a good team. I just didn't see enough of them to even think that they were going to be in the game against Oregon. One of my key proponents of this game is I feel like Oregon, we have yet to see Oregon play their best basketball.
Right.
However, I believe that we've seen Michigan play pretty much their best and maybe even a little bit better than their best basketball up till now. Maybe the break, maybe the few days off, maybe getting yourselves back together will get us back to these teams playing like they're supposed to play or like we saw them play throughout the regular season. That being said, I definitely think Oregon is the better team. You did mention foul trouble. That was an issue for Oregon in the last game. I think they need to be very cognizant and very careful with their foul situation. You do not want to see Dylan Brooks fouled out and on the bench because he's a big proponent of that offense.
Well, the good news for Oregon is that they're one of the top. They're actually 27th out of all the 300 and something teams as far as fouling is concerned. They only commit 16 fouls a game. So if they can just play disciplined basketball and keep Michigan off of the free throw line and obviously, slow them down offensively, I like Oregon to win this game pretty handily.
I'm a big fan of Oregon too, but like I just said, Dylan Brooks last game sitting on that bench and fouling out, it left them no option in the post. I don't know why they were not able to have any effectiveness in the post dealing with that, and we cannot have that again.
No. All right, so you and I are both on Oregon as a dog tonight, Dream.
Yes, we are.
All right, so if you put that into a parlay, you're going to be in pretty good shape if it wins. The next one we got on the ticket is at 7:39. We got Press Virginia, number 4 versus number 1 Gonzaga. Gonzaga 34-1. The only loss coming to BYU. West Virginia, Huggy Hugs, 28-8. Gonzaga, the thing that worries me is that they won their conference championship. They are -3. Under over of 149. Dream. I love the under in this game.
Okay,
Absolutely
like
love
that.
the under in this game. Gonzaga has one of the best defenses in college basketball. Press Virginia, the only thing that concerns me is the press. We talked about it, how it actually speeds up the game a little bit.
Sure.
But you know what? Gonzaga defensively, I think Gonzaga wins the game, covers the 3, and it stays under. Where you at?
Okay, so now I would be very careful with the press against Gonzaga.
Right.
Because Gonzaga's a fundamentally sound basketball team, and they also have some decent shooters. So this press, when you have that unfundamental team and you got that, herky-jerky type team, like a running team, when you hit them with the press, it kind of gets guys nervous. They lose their poise. Guys that aren't used to dribbling the ball end up getting the ball in their hands. That's a problem for other teams. I don't see that being a problem for Gonzaga. Not to mention, once that ball is shot into the open man, him taking that spot up 3 or shooting that ball right there, that could spell problems for West Virginia. So I would watch West Virginia. I would imagine West Virginia will test defenses with their press initially. They get smacked in the face a couple of times, and Gonzaga shows them the ability to effectively run their offense against that press. I would expect to see West Virginia back out of that immediately.
Right on.
I don't think that Gonzaga is the right team to try that with.
Right, and they got the big man Karnowski that, dude, all they got to do is just zip it to him in the press, and he's dunking, man.
And he's dunking. So, yeah, I would watch West Virginia's press in this situation. It definitely could come back to bite them.
Right.
Javon Carter, his effectiveness in this game is crucial for West Virginia. West Virginia's going to want to get the pace of this game, in their favor. They may come out and press, but have to back off. But they're still going to want to run a little bit, probably against Gonzaga. I would say Gonzaga's going to probably not want to entertain them running. Going to want to play half-court set basketball. My heart wants to go with West Virginia, but knowing West Virginia and knowing Hugs and the way Huggins does his thing, and understanding Gonzaga and how Gonzaga plays, I just think Gonzaga's too intelligent of a team for West Virginia. I'm sorry. I'm going to go against what I want to go with because I want to take West Virginia. I really do. But I think Gonzaga's too smart, so I'm going to go with Gonzaga.
All right. And you know what? I'm looking at it. This is amazing, man. Defensively, almost 31 rebounds a game Gonzaga has. That's incredible. Yeah. That's a huge number defensive. But then offensive rebounds 9.66. They don't pull down the boards after missed shots. It's just baffling. And both of these teams dream. Gonzaga only gives up 61 points a game, whereas West Virginia 66.83. You want to give me 149 points? I'm sorry, I got to go under here. I have to go under.
Yeah, I like the under call. I think it's straight. Like I say, I worry about that zone. I have to see how Gonzaga handles the press, and then you really know if you got it or not.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to see a laser pass to Karnowski down low, and he's going to easy layups, easy dunks, as long as he can get his big ass down to the other side of the floor.
I think you're going to have some success. I like the under as well, and I also like Gonzaga.
Yeah, okay. And I'm with you there. I think Gonzaga rolls here and gets the job done. What is your thought? You've been able to watch them now, and I know you've watched because I'm sure you haven't watched a lot of them up until because they play a lot of, let's face it, a lot of weaker programs.
Right.
So now you've been able to watch them in a couple of games here. You've seen them play twice, in this tournament. What's your thoughts of them? No good?
I still haven't really seen them.
Okay.
And I still am not, for what I have seen, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Like I said, my issue with West Virginia, I just don't think that I just think Gonzaga's smarter than West Virginia, and I don't like Huggins in big spots. Okay. West Virginia, talent-wise, to me, could beat Gonzaga, but I just can't. This game, I just feel like I just know that West Virginia is going to do something dumb and lose.
Got it. All right. 2 more games on the ticket here. We got number 4, Purdue. Your squad is facing the number 1 Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas -5, under over of 157.5. Frank Mason III. Dream, that's the dynamic point guard that you keep forgetting to talk about.
No, it's not.
And you know what? That's the recipe to win a national championship. Plus, they haven't won a conference championship, which is even better.
I have talked about Bill Self, though, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Okay, good, because I want to talk about that again. And once again, we got Bill Self and we got Huggins here in their best blow-it spots that they can get in.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm biased with this Purdue team.
I know you are.
But I am going to say this. They're bigger than Kansas.
They are bigger than Kansas, but the athleticism, there's no comparison. Dream, come on. Kansas is going to run circles around Purdue tonight.
I don't want to hear it. You're biased because you got them to win the whole thing. I'm not trying to hear it with your bias on your side. This Purdue team, I can't talk about them because if I talk about them and they make me look stupid again, I'm going to be screaming them off.
Yeah, and I'm going to murder you on the air.
Drives me insane. Look, Caleb Swanigan's incredible. All right. He plays like a men amongst boys out there. His athleticism alone, he is the most athletic player on the court, though,
tonight?
Swanigan's the most athletic player on the court.
Kid, you're dreaming. Dream is dreaming.
Who on Kansas is better than Caleb? Who on Kansas is more athletic than Swanigan had?
Mason, Graham. Let me pull up the roster. I could probably.
Mason's my height. Let's be real about it now. Mason, come on, you got to give Swanigan the nod. Now, don't get me wrong. That may work, detrimentally to him. But Swanigan is the most athletic guy on the court.
You know that Swanigan was like really, really large, like obese. And back in his early days of playing basketball, he was like seriously overweight.
All right,
I don't know if you.
Not seriously.
Yeah, I know. He trimmed down big time. I mean, he basically changed his whole life. But you could see him towering over the kids, like all big and just doing easy layups. It was kind of cool watching the videos of his past basketball days. But I got Kansas winning here, Dream. I don't see Purdue beating Kansas at all.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well,
where
are you at? You going to take +5?
No, I'm not going to play this game, but I'm going to be solidly rooting for Purdue, and I will tell you this game is not going to be a cakewalk for Kansas.
No,
if Purdue plays up to their let me rephrase that. If Purdue plays up to their ability, this game is not going to be a cakewalk for Kansas, but I just worry about Purdue, and we've seen them all season long. Just break your heart.
Yeah, exactly. Right on. And you know what? I mean, Purdue is 10-2 in their last 12 games, and a lot of overs have been coming to form with them, guys. So keep that in the back of your brains when you're betting on this game. You watch Purdue over the last 5 games. They've won 4 of them. They beat Vermont. They beat Iowa State. Iowa State is a very comparable team offensively to Kansas. And they were able to get by them almost to lose the game after having a big lead, but I still like Kansas. I think Kansas is the most complete team in the NCAA. I like Kansas to win tonight. -5. I think that's like right on the nose. I think that's a very good spread. I wouldn't be surprised if that jumped up to 5.5 or 6 by game time. Last game on a ticket, 10:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got number 11, Xavier, who has been playing out of their minds, facing your squad, number 2, the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona -7.5, over of 145.5. Dream.
Yes.
Think the bridge is over for Xavier?
I do, but the one thing I do worry about with Arizona is Arizona's ability to run the floor in comparisons to Xavier's. That would be Arizona's only Achilles heel. Arizona is not. Xavier's is a lot faster than Arizona. Arizona is a lot taller and lengthier, but Xavier is a lot faster than Arizona. Arizona does not want to get into a track meet with Xavier, or they'll get beat.
You really think so, huh?
I do. Yeah, I do. Arizona's big guys can't run the floor, Hat.
Okay. Well, you would know. You would know. You've been watching it.
Yeah, Arizona's big guy cannot run the floor. I got Arizona winning this game. I don't really have a problem with them winning. I think that they win this game, but they do not need to entertain trying to run the floor with Xavier, who's going to want to get out and run. Arizona has to stay in their set, maybe even switch to zone a little bit like they did against UCLA. No, excuse me. They didn't switch to zone. UCLA switched to zone. But maybe they need to go into zone a little bit to slow Xavier down. Arizona could definitely win the game, not a problem. They got the size, they got the height, they got the point guard play, but they cannot get into transition with Xavier or they will lose.
I think the spread is off. I think 7.5 is heavy.
7.5 is heavy.
Isn't that heavy?
It is heavy, but Xavier won't get second chance shots.
Understood. Considering the fact, too, Arizona defensive rebounds, almost 27 a game, so that's pretty impressive. So, I don't know. You know what? I got a future on Xavier, so I'm going to be rooting for them tonight. That's for sure. But, I don't know. It's a tough spot, and that's the matchup I did not want to see. But now that they're, now it's coming to a close here, you're getting all the best teams, bottom line.
I know, and this cup, it's funny you mentioned that, not the matchup you wanted to see. I didn't want to see West Virginia play Gonzaga. I wanted to see Vanderbilt play Gonzaga, and you're right. I didn't want to see Arizona play Xavier.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I don't think anybody wants to play Xavier right now, to be honest with you.
Well, Butler would love to play him, but
yeah. No, they wouldn't, because Xavier beat Butler. You remember that?
But it seems like Butler played Xavier 50 times this season.
They said, I heard this on the air, and I've preached this in every sport. They say that most coaches say that the teams they don't want to play are the ones that they're familiar with. They don't want to play them. Like conference rivals and stuff like that. They said they don't want to play them at all, because you know what?
Can see that.
Yeah, 100%. Big time. So that's it for college basketball. Obviously, we got 4 games going on tomorrow as well, guys. But, hey, we got 4 packs. So what's going to end up happening is that you got 4 tonight, 4 tomorrow. Then you're going to end up with Saturday and Sunday being 2 each. And that's the way it's all going to shake out. And we will have the Final 4 after that. Guys, just so you know, this Sunday, I'm going to be getting together with the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Dr. Dan. He's going to be going through. We're going to break down every single team, top to bottom, all the AL, all the NL, all his win totals, all his futures, the whole package. So make sure you get your pen and paper ready for that show. It's going to be a great show this Sunday. We start at 10 o'clock. We're going to go through the college hoop real quick, and then we're going to go dive right into baseball and get ready for it, because a lot of people are excited about baseball, Dream.
Okay.
All right, so it's all good. So do you want to move on here to NBA?
Let's get on to the NBA and let's see what we got.
Let's do
NBA on tap for this evening.
All right, so let's move on to the NBA, guys, and have a conversation. The double-digit dogs have been great in the NBA, but we're going to move on here and see what we got going on tonight, see if there's any spots that we can pick apart to try to make some money this evening. So, Dream, just looking at the card initially, do you see anything that kind of jumps out at you?
None really jumps out. 5 games on the board tonight. Not a lot going on in the NBA. Right out of the gate, I do see the Clippers here against the Mavericks. Clippers,
I know,
have been picking up the pace a little bit.
they're healthy now, Dream.
They are healthy now. The team still, I don't know. The Clippers just still don't do it for me, though.
Let me ask you a question. Just everybody's Golden State Warriors. That's it. There's some teams. Are there any teams that could knock off the number 1 seed? I mean, obviously, we got the San Antonio Spurs. We all know their history. But you got to really think about this for a minute. There may be. I don't think it's going to be the Clippers by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, it'll be the Spurs. But you also got this Utah Jazz team floating around, Dream. You know what? The Golden State Warriors, I don't know if it's such a guaranteed spot for the Cavs to play the Warriors. I don't know. I think there's some more parity than we think. You know?
Well, yeah, I'm not, but it's not you. I'm not worried about
We were one game away from seeing OKC versus the Cavs last year. 1 game away. One game away from that. I don't know.
I'm not doing the Jazz, though, Hat.
Not doing the Jazz. Pays awfully well.
All right.
Pays
Get out of here with them.
All right, 30-1 shot to win the West right now.
I agree with you, though. The West is still a couple of question marks, especially with not knowing what Kevin Durant, when he's coming back, how he's going to come back, how his team's going to respond. The West is still open, and of course the Spurs are always there. And to me, people talk about OKC, but the team to talk about, as far as I'm concerned, in the West is Houston. Even though I don't like Houston at all, but I mean, they're winning.
They are winning.
They win. I don't know how. I don't know why they can't be stopped. Every time I look, it's just James Harden in that layup.
Yeah, with 3 seconds off the shot clock. He gets shot clock starts. 3 seconds later, he's running towards the hole.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like the same highlight every night. James Harden in the layup. Like, why can't you guys stop him on layup?
Right on. I do see a double-digit underdog tonight, as the New York Knickerbockers yet again are a double-digit underdog, getting 11.5 from Portland. You know what? You would think that the Knicks want to come out and play hard and win a damn game, right? They lost 3 in a row. They're 17 games under 500. I mean, you're going in, you're getting pounded every night. I mean, you gotta show some heart at some point here. I don't know if Hornacek is the right move over there. Just watching him
I don't
last
know
night.
that Portland should be giving 10, though.
11.5, kid.
That's
11.5. Watch him cover, though. Man, I'm taking an X plus the points because that's the way I'm doing it right now. I've been very successful taking double-digit underdogs, including last night. Something to take a look at, guys. That might be something interesting to take the dog in. But San Antonio's hosting Memphis this evening, Dream. Memphis is getting 8 points. We all know that Memphis, it's like watching paint dry on the wall, watching them offensively. 198 points is the total in that one. Maybe something to take a look at there. But, for the rest of it, I don't see anything that's tickling my fancy.
I like the Clippers.
You like the Clippers on the road at Dallas?
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
I like the Clippers. I'm not playing it, but I'm just saying I like the Clippers if I'm going to go in the NBA. And you know what? I almost want to get on your bandwagon with the Knicks plus the 11, but I'm not.
Yeah, don't, because then it'll lose.
They're going to lose probably regardless. I'm just not because they just that team.
I get it. I understand it, and they just played last night too, and they played a hard fought game because Utah's pretty aggressive. So, all right. Where else you at?
All right, let's go over to hockey real quick.
Let's go over to hockey and see what the Dreams got going on here. See if you got any kind of hockey. While you're pulling it up, Dream, I took a nice picture of myself and my father-in-law outside of Trump Tower the other night, and I had the little hand gesture that Trump does, and he had the thumbs down.
Awesome.
So what I ended up doing was I said, all right, that's fine. You want to do that? That's cool. So what I ended up doing was I took an app on my phone and I took his hat off him and I put the Make America Great Again hat on and I shared that to everybody.
You and that guy. Listen, I am not going to be surprised if some very interesting news ends up coming out very shortly in reference to Donald Trump. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
I have.
There's a lot of really bizarre stuff going on with this Russia thing and the president.
It's all it's all fake news, brother.
Yeah, I know.
It's all fake news.
It's all fake news. It's starting to come out from a lot of news entities. So I'm not going to go any further. I am going to say this, though, Hat, since you did bring up Trump. And, guys, I know you guys are sick of it, so we're going to move on. I'm not going to stay here. But Trump singled out Colin Kaepernick on Monday in his little speech. How do you do that?
What did he do? I didn't see that part.
He mentioned Colin Kaepernick's name specifically and how the owners weren't getting involved in it with him. How do you do that? You're the president of the United States. You can't single out a tax-paying citizen.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why not? You can do
That's
whatever
like
you
if
want.
he got up right now and said, hey, Hat and Dreams SBTV program is lousy. When is the president done? When has a president singled out any one individual in the press?
I'm sure it's happened time and time again, Dream.
Hey, some presidents don't. You just don't do that as president of the United States. You don't do that.
All right.
He's still a tax-paying citizen in your country. Not only that, you kind of. I mean, if there was any thought that Colin Kaepernick was being blackballed in the NFL, to have the president of the United States speak out about him and have him in a comment, that kind of like, dude, that's not a good look.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a good look. But anyway, and guys, don't think at 1 second I'm feeling for Cat, because I'm not. I don't like Colin Kaepernick at all. Okay, I don't like what he did. I think it was disrespectful. I get you got issues with things. I think there's another way to go about it, but not kneeling for the national anthem. That to me it's not right. And I didn't feel like he was going to get a job in the NFL regardless, just because he's not a good quarterback.
Right.
But let him not get a job and let that not happen for those reasons. Not because that still doesn't give the right for the president of the United States to speak out about him. And I just don't agree with that.
You see, I've heard him on sports radio before talk about it.
Who?
Saying that
with Trump?
yeah. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's different. But
Yeah.
that's different than him addressing it. That's different to me. If you want to go on like Johnny Carson.
Johnny
If
Carson.
you want to go on, the Tonight Show and talk about it, that's kind of a different topic if you're asked that. But for him to just come out and bring it out on his own, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Anyway, back to the hockey game. 2 plays tonight. I like the Edmonton Oilers as they're playing the Avalanche. And I like the Chicago Blackhawks as they're playing the Dallas Stars. I've been picking on the Stars as well as the Avalanche this season. Both teams I've had a lot of success against. And I know the Maple Leafs are on a little bit of a run right now we're talking about, but I'm going to leave that game alone. So we're looking at the Blackhawks and the Oilers.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that, Dream.
Thank you.
Get down.
I wish you the best of luck with Kansas.
Kansas is going to roll tonight, baby. Kansas Gonzaga is going to roll.
The show tomorrow will be just ridiculous.
What, if they lose?
Yep.
Well, they ain't losing.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
right.
So, all right, guys, we're going to get up out of here, man. I'm thinking about doing a, just for fun, thinking about taking a little bit of a parlay this evening. And I think inclusive of my parlay will be as follows. I'm going to get Gonzaga on the money line. I'm going to get Kansas on the money line. And I'm going to take the under 149.5 in that West Virginia Gonzaga game. If you put those three together, for every $100 you put up, pays $338.
So take the West Virginia Gonzaga total and buy it up to 54.
Well, I could buy it on this particular resource that I'm at. It lets me buy it only to 151. So that's where I'm at with that. And it pays 100, pays 293 at that point. I can't see a lot of points in that game. I just can't. So I could be wrong, guys. I was wrong with the West Virginia Notre Dame under in the last game, but I see this going differently this time. I really do, especially with the defense of Gonzaga. But all right, Dream, what do you got to do to close out of here, brother?
All right, here's where I'm at tonight, guys. I'm gonna go to Oregon.
Yeah,
by
Oregon's
themselves.
a good play too.
I'm gonna go Oregon by themselves, and I also like your under, but I'm gonna put it in with a parlay. I'm gonna take it up to 154 for me because that was my number that I got beat by the last time in the under. So that's the number I'm gonna use. I'm gonna take it up to 154. So I'm gonna go West Virginia Gonzaga under 154, and I'm gonna money line Arizona.
All right, and if you put Kansas Gonzaga, the under in the Gonzaga game, and Oregon together, 100 pays 789. Not bad.
Not bad, which means it's not going to win, though.
Yeah, right. Well, you're going to have to watch Kansas closely if you get the first three, and then see if you need the live line hedge out of it. But, all right, kid, what do you got?
I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. We got March Madness 2017, A.B. Lent, Terrence Mack, Shane Whitehead, OJFB, good to see you, Benjamin Rowe, Dr. Dizzle's in the house, Del Rosario, Spot Bet, Vegas Girl 92661, Devil Butter, welcome to the party, Mario Martinez, Deeks Picks, MVU, also Cash Action Bets is out there, and so many more. Gang, I'm the Dream. Always remember who you went, make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, it's Thursday. Kickoff to the weekend. It's Friday Eve, and we got March Madness among us. We got, let's see, 4, 8, 10, 12 games in the next 4 days to determine the Final Four. And then you got 2 more games after that. So pretty exciting. And who will be the national champion and who will win the SBTV contest?
Irvin, you a fool.
What's that?
Irvin said, why should we listen to Dr. Dan's MLB? Because he was dusty last year in fantasy. But he got dead right, though, in real life gambling, Irv. So just remember, there's a big difference between fantasy and real life.
Yeah, right. We love you to death.
Props on those.
Go out there. Go easy, guys. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money. Let's go.